Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Ed's house from the show Ed, Edd and Eddy. Just so you know, I have made tutorials for each one of the three houses. You can find tutorials for these in the description below. This is the amount of space required to make your build. And here are all of the materials that we will use making it. Begin by placing 12 lime terracotta in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. And then up by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend to the right by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then down to the ground. Extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend backwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place 2 glass block. 1, 2. And then a lime terracotta on the end. Extending across the back of the build, place 4 lime terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then extend backwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend across by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend all the way across to where we first started and join back to where we first started. This is what the floor plan should look like so far. Now it's time for us to mark out all of the windows and doors. Place a glass block on the front left hand corner of the build and extend that glass block to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Then place a row of 3 lime terracotta. 1, 2, 3. Then place an iron door. Add another row of glass on top of the glass that we've placed, and then extend the glass backwards by 2 rows. 1, 2. Then place 2 rows of lime terracotta behind the glass, followed by 3 rows of glass. 1, 2, 3, and then add another row on top. Then just add 2 rows of lime terracotta like this, and then start to extend across the back of the build. Place 2 more rows of terracotta. 1, 2, and then 5 rows of glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we will double up on those. Moving around to this part of the build that sticks out, we want to make the 3 middle rows, which leaves us 2 blocks on the left and 2 blocks on the right. We want to have a row of 3 glass in the 3 middle rows. Add another row of glass on top. Then, moving around to the side of this little building here, we want the 3 middle rows here. We want the left middle block to be 2 rows high in glass, the one to the right of it as well, and then to the right here will be a doorway. So if we leave a gap and then just build around this with lime terracotta, this gives you a good idea on how we will get in and out of this area. There is also a small window off here to the left, so if you build up from this corner a couple of rows using lime terracotta, and then add another one here on the right, and then fill the middle of this in using glass, that covers the small window that is here. Whilst we're on this side of the build, we want to leave a gap of 1 from this window, so a gap of 1, and then we want to place 2 crimson planks on the side of the house, and raise these up so that they are quite high. This is so that we don't forget the chimney later, as it is quite easy to forget these things. I speak from experience, there is a lot of houses without chimneys in my world. We can also fill the garage in using waxed, oxidized, cut copper stairs. We simply place these 1 row behind the actual garage hole just like this. We have reached a point in the tutorial where it would be easier to build up the walls and then add the rest of the details. Begin by placing a lime terracotta on top of the front left hand corner of your house. This will serve as a measuring device for the rest of the walls. We simply want to make all of the rest of the foundation of the house as high as that lime terracotta that we placed on the window just moments ago. So this means placing lime terracotta on top of and in between all of the windows and other features of the house that we have just been adding. Perfect. With this complete, we can now add a row of green terracotta all the way around on top of the lime terracotta. On the left and right sides of the build, we want to stack up more rows of green terracotta to form a pyramid shape, like this. And of course on this side of the build as well. With this complete, I feel as though now is a good time to do the roof. Begin by placing spruce stairs in front of the row of green terracotta that sits above the smooth part of the wall on the left and right side of the garage. Then extend the spruce stairs forwards using spruce slabs like this so they overhangs the garage by one row, and then slowly extend spruce slabs inwards and upwards until they reach a natural peak like this. You may have to add additional green terracotta to fill in any gaps. We then want to do pretty much the exact same thing on the back of the house. The only difference is that the area that we want to add spruce slabs to is ever so slightly bigger, so we just have to add more slabs to get to the point in which we then want to extend them inwards and upwards until they reach that natural peak, but it should actually be in the same position as it is on the front, and we can add a green terracotta in the exact same place that we had to add it in the front as well. We now want to build up rows of spruce stairs that sit alongside of the two green terracotta pyramids that we made on the left and right side of the house. These stairs will come all the way up to the top on the front and then all the way down the back, well, on the back. With this complete, all we have to do is fill in the gaps. We also have to make the roof overhang the house on the left and right sides. Simply place another row of spruce stairs with an upside down layer of spruce stairs underneath that overhanging row of stairs. We do this on the left and the right side of the house. Perfect. We almost nailed the height of the chimney, but we want to make it one row higher than the actual roof, and also one row thicker, extending towards the center. Add a row of smooth stone slabs to the top of it, and that's perfect. It's now time for us to add some more detail to the build. We want to place an item frame left and right of the main entrance, with lanterns in the item frames, and then torches behind the item frames, or in front, depending upon how you see it. We then want to build up a row of stone in front of the entrance. This wants to be one row wider on each side than the door itself, with a set of slabs in front of it. We then want to place a series of stone pressure plates leading from the middle stone here, so one stone pressure plate in front, leave a gap, then another pressure plate, and then extending towards where the driveway will be. Gap, pressure plate, gap, pressure plate. We also want to place some bushes. So, in Ed, and Eddy land, bushes and grass and trees and most things aren't actually the way that they appear in real life. So we're using blue terracotta to achieve the effect of some bushes. We're placing them to the right of the little entrance here and also to the left, so 2 on each side. Plus, you might even want a stone pressure plate to access the actual inside of the house. We also want to place 2 light blue terracottas just right of the garage in the center of this wall. This is once again a bush. On the left side of the house, there is a series of brown bushes. They're not necessarily dead, but these ones are, that run from the front to the back. Now seems like a good idea to mark out the driveway and the street. Basically, take the width of the garage door and extend a row of smooth stone leading from the garage door all the way to the street. We'll fill this in later. Doing this will help us to then determine that the street is also going to be 2 rows thick, leading from the edge of the driveway that we've just placed. So we want to have 2 solid rows of smooth stone that we will fill in later in front of the house. And then we want to place oak leaves behind the pavement with oak planks on the end. The oak planks want to be 2 rows high. We're just simply placing these leaves directly behind the pavement, leading all the way to the left and either side of the driveway. And the oak planks will be the actual fence, which we can actually extend all the way backwards along the grid line and join it to the opposite side. And of course, it wants to be 2 rows high in total. With all of the details on the front of the build laid out, it's now time for us to work on the back of the build. So this is going to seem a little bit weird, but we want to extend the bottom right hand corner of this sticky out part of the house backwards in the ground by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dig a row of 4 in the ground essentially from the back bottom right hand corner. Might be an easy way of saying it. Well, replace all of this with stone. We then want to mark out, leading right of this, we want to leave a gap of 1, place a stone slab, gap of 1, stone slab. We then want to destroy in the ground, and then destroy up and down from this. We accidentally destroyed to the right, but that's perfectly okay. And this gives us a row of 3. We then, from the bottom looking down, want to destroy 2 rows down and right diagonally, 1, 2, and then destroy 2 rows to the right, 1, 2. Destroy 2 rows up and right diagonally, 1, 2, and then up by 2, 1, 2. And then up and left diagonally, 1, 2, and then left by 2, 1, 2, and then join back to where you first started. And if we fill all of this in with light grey concrete like this, it will give us a circle, which we then want to dig inside of, and then one row further down so that we can actually layer the bottom of this with something. And that's how we will leave it for now. Continuing from the row of 4 stone that we dug out ever so slightly earlier, we want to dig an additional 2 rows. 1, 2, so just backwards like this. We then want to dig all the way over to the left and connect to the back left-hand corner of the house. We can fill all of this in with stone at a later point in time, but we're not doing that quite yet. We want to make a row of stone extending out and underneath from this back window here, and then another row of slabs just in front. I think that this is actually meant to be a French door, so you can even leave a gap of 1 if you like. But curiously, there is also the same thing on the left side here. We want to build up a row of stone and then a row of slabs in front, and there is 100% definitely a door here, but there are 2 sets of stairways. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, anyway, from the back set of stairs, we want to place spruce fence extending outwards diagonally. The spruce fence want to be 3 rows high in total. We want to place string connecting the top of the fence and the house, and then we want to place string in the middle of all of this, and I hope that I'm placing it correctly. I don't know if I am. String is a fickle material, but the point is that we want to place it in such a way that we can, well, we got it mostly right. We want to place the string in such a way that we can place a layer of yellow carpet on top of it, leading from the spruce fence to make a canopy, like this. Whilst we're here, we can also place a row of ferns along the back of the patio that we have yet to fill in. In this corner here, we want to place a row of 3 granite, 1, 2, 3, with a row of 2 on the right side, and surround it using polished granite slab, like this. I believe that that's a little rock garden. Coming back to this pond, we want to fill this in, or at least the base of this in, using sand, and then water. With the pond filled in, we can add a bench to the right side of it. This is made with a sideways stairs, regular face stairs in the middle, and then a sideways stairs on the right side facing inwards towards the centre of the pond. We can then add a couple of stone pressure plates and some stone buttons around the outside to decorate the edge of the pond. We can even add some ferns as well, just like this. In the corner of the garden, there is a tree. It's actually pink, but I think that we can settle for a regular tree. Now, with all of these details added, ladies and gentlemen, this doesn't give us much left to do. Basically, all we have to do at this point is fill in the patio on the back of the garden, fill in the driveway and the pavement adjoining it, and well, that's actually kind of it. And that's it. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet made any of the other houses, we have made Ed, and Eddy's house. You can find all of the links for these tutorials down below in the description if you haven't used them already. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye!